Hey everyone, back for another video. This is not a fan film review this time. This is a little bit different. This is about a probably a really big blockbuster movie that I saw a few weeks ago, and this is a movie that probably almost everyone has heard of. If you haven't heard of this movie, then what planet have you lived on? Um, I'm gonna review Die Hard. You probably most of the thoughts I've had of this movie you probably have heard before from other people, but I'm gonna say is that it's probably the my favorite Christmas movie because it's in Christmas, so it counts. It counts, not including Krampus because that it's Die Hard, then Krampus. That's just how I feel, but still, not saying that hurt bad. But I want to first get into the story first. So the story is about a cop called John McClane. And John McClane visits his wife, right, for Christmas. And it was he went to the place she worked at, right? To must stay there for a night, I guess. They don't really make it clear, but or I just don't remember. But basically, when he stays there, how convenient, these criminals show up and basically want this money in the safe. And yeah, basically, and John McClane is trying to stop these guys and also try to get out safely with his wife and everyone else in the building. So most of the movie's kind of like, oh, we gotta stop the robbers from also. Oh, right, forgot. They also it was kind of a spoiler, but they also had a bomb inside the building. So it's kind of like, oh, will he be able to get out with his wife? And also basically survive Christmas Eve because I think it's Christmas Eve. I think. But yeah, so yeah, that's to sum up the story. But let's get into the main character himself, John McClane. He's fun. He's fun. He really is. I really enjoy him. I think he's a very entertaining character. He's not really that deep. Because I'm gonna make this clear, Die Hard's not really a deep movie. It's just a fun action movie you can enjoy with your girlfriend or your whole family. That's kind of how I could say it. But John McClane, he's enjoyable. He has very catchy lines yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. That's a cool line, and I know that it came from this movie. So, and he says it I think probably 10 times or so. I don't really remember. But it's great, and John McClane is also very clever. He's a very clever dude also, in general. He outsmarted these criminals so many times. It's quite impressive. And also was able to contact the cops even if that was stressful. Because also in most of the movie he was talking with this other cop. I forgot his name, but he was it's kind of he's they both were cops, but but also the people the other cops didn't trust John McClane. Well, mostly the chief of police, who is an idiot. Just to sum it up, but yeah, I'm gonna say is John McClane's entertaining. But we cannot forget, we can't have a protagonist without an antagonist. So we're going to get into Hans Gruber, a.k.a. Snape. Basically, he's Snape. Because it's the same actor who plays Snape, of course. Rest in peace. Hans Gruber, that was the character's name. He is one entertaining villain, very simple. He's not too broad. It's oh, he just wants the money, because he's a bad guy. Let's kind of sum it up. He's also quite he's quite terrifying too, though. He's very threatening as a villain. But I don't really say I exactly think he's super interesting. But he did his purpose. He was the antagonist. He was, and also and I don't know if this is true or not, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. This kind of feels like a Western though. Like in general, like Die Hard feels like a modern Western. Like it's like John McClane's a guy who's outside of his country or like the place he lives in, and goes into like a place that he's like not native to, right? And hell, they even even the main villain Hans Gruber calls him a cowboy. It's just like you guys are making it obvious. I would not be surprised if that's what they were intending. It is very similar. But anyway, that's just a side thought. But let's also get into the notable side characters that I could think of. John McClane's wife, I would say she's not really the most interesting, so I don't really count her as notable to me. She's just kind of there, you know. So, oh well. There's also the driver, who I absolutely love this driver. This driver is so entertaining. Like he's chilling for like the whole movie, but he kind of like saves everyone in like the last minute with the because they're trying to like I think get all the money. So he like ran into the guy who like was gonna go off with the money. So I thought that was cool, and also like I said, he's entertaining. Also the guy who was trying to get revenge on John McClane because John McClane killed this dude's brother. Like, well, that's what they say, and it was cool to see him try to like get John McClane the whole time, and his death was like, well, presumed death, you would say, where he was like getting hanged up to the chain. I'm like, oh dang, that's pretty hardcore, you know. Even if, well, somehow he didn't die, and I'll never understand that. Like so how like and because it's like seriously, this is a question: how did he get down to the building that quickly? He was hanging up that chain the whole time. How did he get out of it? Like seriously, he would be dead. Like I don't know. That's something I was that was bothering me. But it's a fictional movie, so it doesn't really matter. But let's get into final thoughts. I want to give this probably a 9. Because I'm not gonna, and I even with my harsh criticisms, it's an enjoyable movie. It really made its purpose. I can understand why a lot of people like it. You know, it's just a fun movie. It's not really supposed to be anything like I would say super deep. You know, it's just it's a kind of like a I don't know if you would say claustrophobic, but it's like very like it's very fast paced. That's kind of what I would say. You know. But it's also just like I said, it's a fun movie, and you can enjoy it with like anyone or just yourself. You can. It also has really good. It's really rewatchable too, though. Also, like I think in general, it's just a good movie, you know, and and it definitely deserves its place as you know a really like the top tier blockbuster movies. That's really all I had to say. About this. I'll definitely do because YTMCU. I saw your comment on the Punisher thing. I will check that out. And definitely do a review of it. But yeah, I might, and also like I said, I might do another. I might watch Die Hard 2. So ask it. I'm just not really sure yet though. Sorry if I'm like kind of like processing. It's just because the gardener's outside, so it's hard to focus. But I might watch Die Hard 2, but I'm not sure yet. I kind of want to hear from other people if I should or should I just stop here. But anyway, that's all I have to say. See you guys next time for probably the Punisher review. Anyway, see you guys.